San Diego has long been a Monster Jam hotspot for carnage along the Pacific Coast Highway. And tonight, the defending series champion sets his sights on another year of domination, while the rest of the field looks to knock the three-time world champion off the top of the podium. For 12 of the biggest superstars in the sport, the road to World Finals 22 begins tonight. This is Stadium Championship Series Blue. This is round one. This is Monster Jam. San Diego, California, a beautiful coastal city along the Pacific Ocean known for its beaches, parks, and warm climate. And tonight, it's also where we officially kick off the 2023 Monster Jam season. Good evening, everyone, and welcome inside the Monster Jam studio. I'm Leslie Mears alongside my new broadcast partner, Adam Entick-Knapp, where we will be calling all the action for Stadium Championship Series Blue all season long. Now, Adam, I've been a fan of yours throughout your 13-year Supercross career, and I'm proud to welcome you now to your career here at Monster Jam and see how your experience can parlay into the world of Monster Jam.
Yeah, I had so much fun in that 13 years of racing, but I am so excited to be here at Monster Jam. I'm having so much fun. The more I learn about Monster Jam, the more things are so similar. There's high performance vehicles, racings, big jumps, same exact stadium, and the same exact dirt in those stadiums. As a Supercross racer, I'm a dirt expert, and to be a great Monster Jam driver, you have to be a dirt expert as well. I'm ready for Stadium Championship Series Blue.
So let's get to it tonight here at SnapDragon Stadium. Ryan Anderson begins defense of his series championship, which is a tall task for anyone.
It is. It's going to be very tough for Ryan Anderson to do. He's set the bar these last 2 years in a row, showing these drivers what it takes to win a championship. But if there is a man that can do it, it's Ryan Anderson. He's cool, calm, and collected, and so much talent.
And last season on Stadium Championship Series Yellow, Tyler Menninga took the first two events before Ryan went on an absolute tear. But they started out strong and kept going. So how important is it for these drivers to really come out swinging and be competitive right out the gate?
Yeah, you have to come out swinging. Something that I've learned in my Supercross career is you have to set the tone at the beginning of the series. It carries momentum throughout the series, and it lets your competitors know, I am here, and I'm here to win.
Ryan and Tyler will have 10 other drivers looking to knock them off the podium. So let's take a look at the full driver lineup for Stadium Championship Series Blue. Adam, who do you think comes out strong here?
I think Bart Musauer comes out strong. He's the winningest freestyle event champion from last year. Mark List, so much talent. Cynthia Gauthier, I had a conversation with her. The last 2 years she's been playing it safe, and she's ready to turn up that volume. Colt Stevens in the brand new Thunderosaurus. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, so now it's time for track talk here on Stadium Championship Series Blue. It showcases the Cyclone-style racing track. And there's a couple of quick turns here that could give you some issues for our drivers.
Yeah, one of the biggest things I'm seeing is you're starting on top of that pod. As soon as you come off that pod, you're gonna get a little bit of the wheelie, and it's gonna be hard to set that truck for the first corner. The next corners, there's two big round corners. I look at those as four. As something you would do is go outside and carry your momentum all the way around the outside and hold it wide open, or you can creep around the inside and go nice and slow. That's the safe route, but let's see what happens and see which one pays off.
Tonight, we see the debut of the brand new Thunderosaurus truck as Colt Stevens has left the broadcast booth after 2 years to get back behind the wheel and compete in his first full-time stadium series since 2018. And earlier this week, I was able to catch up with my former broadcast partner in this UNOH pit report. Well, we're sad to see him leave the booth. Colt, what was it like for you to finally be back out here in the Monster Jam truck?
Man, I was so pumped to get the call to finally get back in a seat, and my own personal seat this time, not having to share it with nobody, getting to go overseas and drive Max D. But what's more exciting, we're here in San Diego this weekend, and we get to debut this brand new truck called Thunderosaurus. I'm excited for it. The truck is awesome. The fans seem to love it. I love it. Crew guy loves it. We're ready to get it on.
I know it's been a while since you've been behind the wheel, and what are some things that you're maybe thinking about or trying not to do as you take the track for the first time in competition?
You know, the best thing I can say to that, Leslie, is I'm really not thinking. I'm trying to keep myself from getting too over-prepared, putting too much pressure on me. If I put pressure on myself, I'm gonna crack, especially in this, with this brand new truck, all this stuff. So I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna try and not think, do what I do, try and get my muscle memory to come back and get everything to just naturally go. And if I can do that, I feel like I can perform really well here.
Let's look at the event breakdown for round one. So drivers will compete in 3 competitions: bracket style racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and freestyle. Points are awarded based on finish, with 12 points going to the winner of each competition, and the driver with the most points at the end of the night will be crowned the overall event champion. Let's check out tonight's racing bracket. 4 first-round buys for our competitors. Those will be Axe, Shaker, Bad Company, and Son-Uva Digger. And then the matchups: El Toro Loco versus Avenger, Gravedigger versus Megalodon, Zombie versus Monster Mutt, and Thunder Roarus versus Lucas Stabilizer. What's the race to watch here in round one?
The race for me to watch has to be Gravedigger versus Megalodon. Megalodon and Corey Rummel has never won a final round of racing. I just can't believe it. And Gravedigger, Tyler, man, he has been on fire in San Diego prior years, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for us tonight.
Yeah, he said that's his major focus for this season, is to get better in racing, so we'll see if he can do it. So our first race of the night in the 2023 season, Mark List and El Toro Loco versus Mr. Excitement himself, Jim Kohler in Avenger. Off the line into that first critical corner, evenly matched.
Both with a good first turn. They set the trucks nicely. They're about even at halfway.
Here's where it's going to get dicey for these guys.
El Toro slides out. Can Jim capitalize?
He cuts the turn pod. No penalty for that, though. And Avenger takes the win here. Let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
You can see El Toro right here, knows that turn pod is so close, tries to get a little extra turn, slides out. Jim Kohler coming around, hits the throttle a little too hard, but makes it right over the top of the turn pod. Big win for Jim Kohler.
Our next matchup will have Corey Rummel in Megalodon facing off against Gravediggers Tyler Menninga. And Adam, this is the match. You said it's one to watch. They paired up 8 times last year, and they're even Stevens when it comes to the results. A little slow for Megalodon off the line. Menninga with the advantage in the first corner.
Menninga on 2 wheels in that first turn, but makes it up just about even as they go into the last corner.
Here we go. Somebody's got to be perfect to take this as tight as these guys are racing.
Megalodon goes inside and cannot make it happen.
Let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Gravedigger taking a nice outside line. Corey Rummel going inside just a little too far. Can't make it happen. Gravedigger takes the win.
So our next matchup will have Thunder Roarus and Colt Stevens, that brand new, beautiful concept truck, versus Cynthia Gauthier in Lucas Stabilizer. And Cynthia really looking to make a name for herself in this semi-truck. Colt a little slow off the line. Great corner there by Cynthia.
Colt taking it a little bit wide. It looks like he's not quite familiar with that truck yet.
Advantage to Stabilizer off that first jump.
Oh, on to 2 for Colt Stevens. Grabs that traction.
Lucas Stabilizer advances with a 16.689. Let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Cynthia with a perfect first corner. Look at the way she drifts that truck. There you can see Colt grabbing the traction in San Diego, puts it on 2, and Cynthia comes away with the win.
Our final matchup of round one, Chris Kohler, Monster Mutt versus Bari Musauer in Zombie. Critical for both of these drivers to get moving in the bracket.
Bari Musauer with such a good start. Monster Mutt taking it too far inside.
It's got a huge lead, but is it going to be enough around that final corner for Zombie? Musauer moves on there with an 18.853. Let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Right here, you can see he grabs that pod, just going a little too far inside. Zombie showing him exactly how it's supposed to be done.
Great racing in round one. Can't wait to see what's up. Let's take a look now at the racing bracket after round one. The Team Scream matchup with rookie Joe Foley in Axe going up against team owner Jim Kohler in Avenger is so exciting. Now, Shaker was out with a blown motor, so we're going to bring back our fastest loser for round one. El Toro Loco versus Gravedigger, Bad Company versus Zombie, and Son-Uva Digger versus Lucas Stabilizer. The 2023 Monster Jam season is well underway, and up next, round two of racing as the reigning series champion makes his season debut. Ryan Anderson hits the track when Monster Jam returns. Welcome back to San Diego, California. It's time for round two of racing. And our first matchup this round is a Team Scream head-to-head bout here. So it will be Jim Kohler in Avenger, the winner from round one, versus his teammate Joe Foley driving Axe. Avenger the advantage through turn one.
Joe Foley goes so wide on that first corner. He's way behind right now.
And this is just a practice lap here for Jim Kohler. He's still got to make it in good time to try to get lane choice in our semifinal round. Avenger easily takes the win here and advances. Let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
As you can see right here, Joe, a rookie to this Stadium Series, goes a little wide at the beginning, and Jim Kohler showing it how the veterans do it.
Yeah, it's going to take him a little bit of time to get his legs here against this fierce competition as well. Up next, it'll be El Toro Loco versus Gravedigger. So it will be the fastest loser from round one coming back since Shaker had that blown engine. And Mark is 1-0 against Tyler here, so he's got a slight advantage. Gravedigger the advantage through that first set of turns.
Tyler off to a great start. Great first corner. El Toro Loco gets a bad bounce.
Gravedigger goes wide, misses that turn pod, and powers through to take the victory. Let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Tyler going wide right here. Look at the entrance. Look at the way he sets that truck. El Toro Loco grabbing that pod, putting the left front tire up. Can't put the power to the ground.
Yeah, it seemed like there's one turn out here that is really problematic for our drivers. And let's see if the next pair can master it, as we'll have Lucas Stabilizer versus Son-Uva Digger. So this is the racing debut here for Ryan Anderson, trying to get his season started right. And how about it? Lucas Stabilizer, a slight advantage.
Both off to a good start, but Cynthia goes a little too wide. Ryan up on two wheels.
He's a little reckless, but also seems controlled. It's going to come down to the finish here. Lucas Stabilizer a little loose in that corner, giving the victory to Ryan Anderson and Son-Uva Digger. Let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Ryan Anderson grabbing the edge of that pod, but stays in the throttle. Here's Cynthia, so much traction out there in San Diego, gets up on two BKT tires and can't quite steer that truck to the finish.
So that'll take us to our final matchup of round two here, where we will see John Gordon in Bad Company versus Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt. Now, Kohler will replace Moosauer in this round as there was an issue with the rear steer here and the brakes on Zombie.
John Gordon off to a fabulous start. Chris a little bit better, slides out, grabs that pod. Big advantage for John.
Now, if John can just miss this turn pod, it'll be smooth sailing to the finish here. And Bad Company advances. Let's take a look once again here at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Monster Mutt grabbing that inside pod once again, choosing to go inside, and it's not quite paying off.
So great racing here for Gordon. Fresh eyes on the track as he advances to the semifinals. The semifinals bracket is set. Mr. Excitement will take on Gravedigger here, and then John Gordon in Bad Company versus his former driver. He was the crew chief for Ryan Anderson and Son-Uva Digger for many years. The fastest four here in San Diego will square off when Monster Jam returns. Welcome back to SnapDragon Stadium in San Diego for the Monster Jam Racing semifinals. So our first matchup here, Tyler Menninga Gravedigger versus Jim Kohler in Avenger. And so Tyler with a severe advantage here, 6-0 versus Kohler in 2022. Kohler with that new engine, though, more power than he's ever had before, making him faster in racing.
Tyler choosing to go to the inside. Jim with a great corner, but grabs the pod.
Even so far, this is amazing. Look at Kohler go.
Jim slides out a little bit. Oh, no.
Man, it was Kohler's race to win there. And a slide out at the end gives the advantage to Menninga. Let's take a look at our super glue, glued to the action replay.
Man, Tyler's truck is hooking up. Look at that left front tire coming off the ground. Jim Kohler grabs the edge of that pod, puts it down, but is okay. The last corner makes a big mistake, pushes the truck too hard, and can't get the win.
So up next, we'll have John Gordon in Bad Company. He was the crew chief for Ryan Anderson for a number of years. So Ryan Anderson here, son of a digger, looking to take out the guy who he passed on a lot of his skills to. Gordon with a slight lead here.
Ryan staged so deep. Look at him, he grabs that traction in the corner, gets up on two and misses the race ramp.
Great recovery there by Anderson, but is it gonna be enough? Could be a violation for not getting both tires across the line. And we're gonna call our winner, John Gordon, advancing to the finals. Let's take a look at our super glue, glued to the action replay.
John Gordon missing those inside ruts, using that cushion. Ryan Anderson, look at, he grabs a little bit of a chuckle with those BKT tires. Can't keep it on all four.
So we're gonna take a look at our final round matchup here. It will be Tyler Menninga Gravedigger versus John Gordon, Bad Company. Adam, who you got?
I mean, I've got to go with Gravedigger, right? He's a shoo-in for this win.
We'll see. They'll decide it here on the track. So let's go racing. John Gordon in Bad Company against Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. So easing up to the line. We're taking a look at the starting line, and we're seeing some ruts too.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some big ruts developing, but we'll see how it affects the drivers.
Great launch by both. Menninga, advantage there as he whips around the corner.
John using that outside, making it around the pod. They're dead even.
Let's see if Gordon can make it through the ruts at the far end. He does. It's going to come down to who can power through the finish.
Tyler grabs that pod. I think John Gordon's done it.
We're going to take a look here at our super glue, glued to the action replay.
John Gordon pitching that truck sideways in that perfect dirt, choosing the outside. Tyler grabbing that inside pod, probably couldn't see it, has to let off. Oh my goodness, and they give it to John Gordon.
So John Gordon picks up his first ever career racing championship here in San Diego. So let's take a look at our BKT overall point standings here after the racing competition. So you can see List coming in 5th, Kohler 4th, Anderson 3rd, Menninga 2nd, and then John Gordon on top. It's time for the second event of the night, the Great Clip Skills Challenge. So in this competition, drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or opt to do a donut, and we're judged by the fans on creativity, skill, and execution. So now let's take a look back at our top 5 competitors. So with 12 points on the line, Bari Musauer comes in 5th.
Grabbing a huge sky wheelie off that step up.
In 4th place would be Mark List and El Toro Loco.
There you go, a maximum moonwalk. He starts with the nose wheelie. Let's see if he can get it going in reverse. There's that moonwalk.
In 3rd place, it was the rookie, Joe Foley, showing off his arena skills.
Getting a nose wheelie to moonwalk to the back of that step up.
In 2nd, Ryan Anderson, so good with those bicycles.
Getting a bicycle going with the combination onto the sidewall, almost a cyclone.
And here's your winning run, Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger.
Look at the length of that bicycle right there. Look at him work it into the combination. Hits a stoppie into a moonwalk, back to a nose wheelie, back to a moonwalk. Tyler is unreal at 2-wheel skills.
So 12 points goes to Tyler Menninga. So let's take a look at our overall point standings here, courtesy of BKT. So you see him on top with 23, 2 back Ryan Anderson, John Gordon holding steady there in third, 5 back, 6 back Mark List, and Joe Foley, how about at the rookie, rounding out the top 5 there. Tough competition here going into freestyle. It's tight at the top. When we come back, Adam and I break down the freestyle competition. I'm Leslie Mears, along with Adam Enticknap, bringing you Stadium Championship Series Blue. And so 2 events completed here, 7 points separating the top 5 here. John Gordon, 5 points behind tonight's leader, picking up his first ever stadium racing win. Are you surprised?
I'm surprised. John's surprised. This whole team. I think this stadium is too. But it's an unbelievable night for those guys. For me, that just means momentum for the rest of the night for John Gordon. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, Tyler Menninga's also had a good night so far on top of the BKT overall event leaderboard. He takes second in racing, great clip skills challenge, win here, and clearly he's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, in San Diego, Tyler has always been good. He's just an unbelievable driver, so much talent, and I think he's putting his best foot forward tonight.
We also can't look past our stadium rookie here, Joe Foley in Axe. He's 20 years old. He's got exuberant energy out here. He's on the independent circuit, then finds himself here on this Monster Jam Stadium series. So what do you think we should expect for him in freestyle?
I mean, it's been a big night for Joe. I actually got a chance to talk to him in the back, and he said he was so nervous. He was like, I just want to do good tonight. And I said, dude, all you can do is what you can do. Go out there, do your best, leave it all on the track. And tonight, Joe Foley has done that.
Yeah, and I love his tenacious energy off the track, which transforms on track as well. And I think we're going to see that from him in freestyle. He describes himself as controlled chaos out there. So let's take another look at the BKT overall event leaderboard. So is there anything that surprises you here, Adam, when we take a look at this?
I mean, obviously, John Gordon in third. Another guy I have my eye on is Mark List. He's a very great driver in that El Toro Loco truck. Look for a big freestyle. Joe Foley in 5th. We've got some exciting drivers going on here tonight.
So obviously the event championship will come down to freestyle, and it's always unpredictable. So Ryan needs to finish here in the top 2 spots ahead of Tyler in freestyle to win.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson, for me, he doesn't even need to win tonight. I don't think he has any pressure on him. He's been here, done that kind of sort of thing. But Tyler, I know he wants to win. I got to chat with him also, and on his mind is number 1.
Yeah, and he said he felt like he learned so much last year, but this season, he really wants to show that he belongs on a Stadium Championship Series. Well, it's time to kick off the freestyle competition. Let's head down to the track, where the first to compete will be Bari Musauer in Zombie. Coming off of that 2022 Wow Factor Award here in San Diego, of course, at Petco Park. That's where we were 1 year ago, where he jumped over Gravedigger in a phenomenal move.
Bari starting out with a slap wheelie, working the outside of the track. One thing we all know about Bari is that he's very methodical. He goes out, walks the track, lays out his freestyle. So expect everything that Bari does in this freestyle run to be planned out and on purpose.
Yeah, he said the one thing he's worried about is the truck kind of reaching up and biting him. And if you have big air like that, you don't have to worry about that at all, as it kind of sets the tone for the air for the night.
One of the things here tonight in San Diego about the trucks biting these drivers and making big mistakes like that right there, the dirt is so tacky. Oh, he can't save it.
Let's take a look here at our super glue, glued to the action replay.
A nice slap wheelie to start out the run for Bari. Look at it, 90 degrees up in the air. Right here, he gets that bad bounce with the crash. You can see it upsets the truck, grabs those BKT tires, doesn't look like he has enough power to throttle out, and can't keep it on all 4.
It's a high mark to beat, though, at 8.145. Cynthia Gauthier unleashing on the track, though, with her entrance, making her presence known.
So far, we've seen 2 of the drivers work the outside. Let's see if we can get a slap wheelie in here.
Great execution.
90 degrees, dragging that bumper in this San Diego dirt.
Yeah, she wants to incorporate more of those technical moves in this year, and so we saw that right off the gate.
Yeah, variety is so important for these freestyle runs. You have to remember that the fans are the judges here, and they want to see a little bit of everything.
She's got a lot of good momentum. We're seeing the quick turns in the corner as she puts a little combo together here. Triples up with some final air across that final pod. Uh-oh. It looked like she may have stalled for a second, but coming back with a vengeance.
Yeah, something definitely weird went on. A nice sky wheelie, but it's so hard to get those points when you stop in the middle of the run. You don't keep that excitement going the whole time. Right now, I'd love to see Cynthia step on the throttle, carry a little bit more momentum and speed in this freestyle run.
And the other thing we've got to remind folks about, this is their first time ever seeing this particular track in person. And so it's a brand new track for Monster Jam. She's walked it multiple times and she has an idea of what it looks like out there, but the first time actually in the truck, body on and driving.
I will tell you what, I've seen 2 stalls from Cynthia so far. That is gonna hurt her score immensely. She's gonna need something big.
And here's the wow moment that she's looking for, trench box backflip. Let's look at the execution.
Oh, it's so big!
The best part, all 4 BKTs down, and she's sending it one more time.
Oh, that's how you do it. Big moment after big moment. Looks like a little bit of transmission fluid coming out of that truck, but it doesn't matter.
And what a great finale to her 2 minutes here. Gauthier with a 9.613, a huge score here early in the competition. Let's take a look here at our Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Here she goes off that sky wheelie ramp, the back of the race ramp, getting it perfectly 90 degrees in the air. And then the backflip, it's so big. And right after that, followed up with a huge air onto that pod.
What a way to end it. Cynthia Gauthier has set the mark to chase here in freestyle. Let's see if our drivers can do it when Monster Jam returns. Welcome back to beautiful San Diego, California, as we kick off the 2023 Monster Jam season with Stadium Championship Series Blue. Next up in freestyle, it'll be Mr. Excitement, Jim Kohler, looking to air it out. And, you know, this is an exciting year for Jim. It's his first year that he's actually going to be on a Stadium Championship Series tour with his son, Chris, who also happens to drive Monster Mutt.
Yeah, that to me is just a huge comfortability factor. When I got to race Supercross with my brother, it was like I was with somebody that really had my back and, you know, looked after me and gave me tips that were very, very valuable. Jim, one of the big things that I talked to him about is he actually has that bigger engine in his truck this year.
Yeah, this is the first year that he's actually got a new motor. He usually gives it to one of the other 4 trucks on the team. And so he's got more horsepower than he's ever had before. And so he's excited he can do moves like that with his ultra heavy truck, you know, coming off of the 2022 Extreme Air Award. He's got 7 of those to his credit. And so he builds his truck heavier than the others. He's going to need that extra horsepower.
Yeah, you can see that little bit of heavier truck weighing down on him when he goes to accelerate. But a nice air onto the pod, good bounce, way to avoid those landmines.
How do you feel about his momentum so far?
I feel like it's been solid. It's building up. He got through that first 30 seconds, but he definitely needs to keep it going in a positive manner.
I like the quick turn there. That's what our fans like to see. Multiple moves out here, utilizing all of the track.
Getting a little squirrely, a little cross-threading right there. I need to see a big moment from Jim.
Oh, no shortage of those from Jim. Look, thought he was going to set up for the 8-pack backflip is what I thought he was going to do there. Instead, a little cross-threading.
Man, that was so smooth over that pod. It warms my heart as a Supercross racer to see a landing like that.
Backside was beautiful. Oh, here he goes. This is what we're talking about.
Oh, can he save it?
Used all of the motor to try to save it. Let's take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay here for Avenger.
Look at how long that slap wheelie is. The big air onto that pod, using every ounce of that motor. And then the 8-pack backflip way up in the sky. Gets a bad bounce, has to balance it on that right rear tire, and can't quite save it.
8.659 in the books as we'll move on to Colt Stevens, driving Thunder Roarus, our Houston, Texas driver, back in the saddle for the first time on a Stadium Championship Series in 5 years.
I think one of the biggest things we have to mention, I got to chat with Colt in the back as well, and he's coming off a diesel truck, Leslie, and one of the hardest parts about having a diesel versus this methanol engine is how slow the motor actually picks up. When he was driving before, he really had to stomp that pedal all the way to the floor to get this truck going. And now with this methanol engine, it's right there right now. So he has to be very careful.
Yeah, and also, you know, being out of the saddle for a long time, it's your muscle memory that's got to come back, right?
Yes. Good momentum right now for Colt, hitting the backside of the step up, getting a good air, landing on all 4 tires, being nice to that truck.
Yeah, and a huge benefit for Colt is that he does know so much about the machine, so he's going to have a great shock setting this season as he gets that triple combo in. I think we're going to see a lot of that on this tour, utilizing the full track. That's what our fans want to see.
There you go again across the pod. You can tell for me, Colt looks a little rusty, but man, it's been such a good freestyle run. I've seen everything that I've wanted to see, and I think as the season goes on, he's just gonna keep getting better and better.
He talked about the landmines on the track, and so can you speak a little bit to what he's talking about there and how he can possibly get in trouble?
So what you're gonna see is you're gonna see Colt jump across this pod, and on the backside of that, you get these big bounces, and what's gonna happen is you're gonna hit those and it could flick you any direction.
Big air there from Thunder Roarus. Great job of shooting the gap there between the step up and the pod.
Such a great technical move with that bounce, swapping it side to side. Look at that, getting a little nose wheelie, stoppy action in there. Little moonwalk for Colt, come on.
Well, with the fans here, let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Here's that big air onto the pod, pops that thing up, gets it into the stoppy, gonna throw it into reverse, grab a little bit of a moonwalk. What a way to start for Colt.
Don't touch the dial. More Monster Jam and Gravedigger, the black and green wrecking machine, when we return. Welcome back to round 1 of Monster Jam as we continue with the freestyle competition. But first, let's take another look at the current overall event leaderboard after 2 competitions. So here we are, we've got 7 points separating our top 5, and we haven't seen all of our front runners yet. So we know that freestyle is gonna decide our overall event champion here when all the cards are dealt. And up next, it'll be Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger, setting out to make his mark on the track. And, you know, it was a spectacular first stadium year for him 1 year ago. Is that something that it's going to be hard to top here in year 2?
As a racer, we don't think about topping it. We just think about how much luck we had at that last stadium. And I'll tell you what, Tyler is definitely feeling confident by the way he started out this run.
He said the biggest things that he learned 1 year ago was the bicycles that he's trying to incorporate into his freestyle, and then also racing, because that's where he felt like he bled a lot of points.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Oh, nice save there. The reverse to keep his momentum flowing and to set him up for the next jump.
Yeah, Tyler, so great at these freestyle runs. One of the things that I like most, that the fans really seem to like as well, is how he's just on to the next thing and on to the next big jump quickly. You see some of these drivers take their time between those jumps or between, you know, whatever trick they're trying to do, and Tyler, he gets right to it.
Setting up for the 1-2 shift here, big air. More like a rocket launch across the floor. Making sure he can use every inch, even if he has to rub tires down there with another competitor.
Tyler, a nice air onto the pod, gets a little sideways, but saves it.
Using the entire floor, which is critical here. Big run up for the BKT backflip.
Oh,
how about it?
Textbook right there. Look at that backflip with the perfect bounce on the BKTs to the moonwalk. Puts it into drive and jumps right to the pod.
I love the continuation here of momentum. Menninga just won't stop here in freestyle with that early backflip. He's left the door open for something spectacular here at the end.
Oh, there it is, another technical move. Get out your pen and paper, people, because this is how it's done.
Whipping it around, trying to see if he can get a couple more combos in. That 1-2 shift.
Tyler getting a little cross-threading in here, a nice sky wheelie, and it looks like that'll end his run.
Let's take a look here at our super glue, glued to the action for Gravedigger.
Man, the height, bounces those back BKTs, has it in reverse already, gets the moonwalk, a huge jump onto the pod. Unbelievable by Tyler.
And not every driver was able to wow the fans here in Southern California, so let's take a look at some of the lower performing trucks here. Ryan Disharoon with a blown motor in introductions did not make the competition, and Chris Kohler in Monster Mutt fell short of his 30 seconds, did not receive a score. Corey Rummel in Megalodon got some amazing air there, not quite enough to wow our judges as Joe Foley fell short in Axe. John Gordon and Bad Company had a mechanical that ended his run early after some amazing flow. So now here's our freestyle point standing so far. We've got 2 to go. What can we expect to see?
I think we can expect to see a huge run from Ryan Anderson and a big opportunity for Mark List to top this freestyle competition.
Tyler left the door open for Ryan Anderson. Can he beat Cynthia to take that top spot? Or can Mark List play spoiler? We'll find out when Monster Jam returns. Up next here in freestyle, it's Mark List in El Toro Loco. Can he play spoiler here for Cynthia as she tries to take her first victory of the season? Also a little advantage here for Mark. He's got that front clip off. How much more visibility does that give him?
It's an unsurmountable amount of visibility. When you're in this truck, you're strapped all the way to the back of the seat. All you can see is what is directly in front of you.
Great technical move here. And I love that he started incorporating those moves into his freestyles throughout the 2022 Series Championship season. And it really paid off dividends for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark List, a very technical guy. I got a chance to talk to him, throwing it into a bit of a stoppie right there, but I got a chance to talk to him on the track, and he was explaining every little detail about the track, about the truck, about what he needed to do to win this competition.
And also that helps that he worked on the Monster Jam Dirt Crew as well. And so he actually built tracks like this. And so having that inside information, knowing how that dirt is going to react, like you said earlier, is going to be critical for him to pull off the things that he wants to do. An early backflip. This is way early in the run.
Oh, a big backflip with a bounce. What is this?
Hold on. Is he still running, though? You can see there he goes, shaking the tires, bringing it back down very, very skillfully there. So very important that he did not get shut off, because that could have rendered his run early. Someone had to come out and refire him, and that would have helped him lose his momentum.
What a move. I can't believe it. Wow, what an air from Mark. He's going off in San Diego.
From standing still to launching it, trying to exit the stadium. What about the save here?
Up on those 2 BKT tires, it's so tacky in San Diego. Getting every technical aspect in this truck going on. What a formula for a great score in freestyle.
Combo moves just through the roof here, but remember, he's got a huge mark to beat. It's 9.613. Is this going to be enough for our judges? So let's take a look here at our super glue glued to the action replay for Mark List, who scores a 9.429, second place.
A big backflip. You can see him kind of land on those rear wheels, set it up on the bumper. A big air, nose high, comes down hard. Unbelievable run.
Mark crushing it out there, shaking up that leaderboard. Of course, there is 1 to go here. it will be Ryan Anderson from Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, son of a digger, making his presence known early.
Ryan Anderson, definitely one of my favorites out here for that reason right there. He comes out every single time screaming. You can hear that throttle rhythm. He gets the crowd on their feet. He knows what to do.
Yeah, and he actually made his 2010 domestic stadium debut at Qualcomm Stadium. We were there from 2002 to 2013, and this SnapDragon Stadium on that same site. So almost like back at the beginning for him.
Yep. Ryan Anderson, so comfortable here in San Diego, so comfortable behind a Monster Jam truck. And you can just tell the difference in his driving style. He knows how to land the truck so the truck doesn't break. And that's what to me really makes the difference on why Ryan wins so much.
And it's also one of those things, too, it's a unique sound when you hear a digger, a son of a digger, or a grave digger. And it's just kind of that throttle that is something that is nature over nurture there. It's just something they're born with.
Ryan Anderson carrying good momentum, getting a nice air. We're gonna need some wow factors, though.
Now here comes the triple that he has been known for. He usually does that nose wheelie and then slides it off that other ramp at the end.
Missed that a little bit, but cool move off the side of the step up.
A little reckless here. That's his Anderson style. He knows he's got to go big here and find something unique that no one else has done if he wants to top Gautier in freestyle.
Not very much time left. We're gonna need a backflip, Ryan.
I love the amount of throttle that he uses here. Going for the 8-pack.
Oh,
he falls short. So Anderson falls short on the rotation. Let's take a look at our super glue glued to the action replay.
Starts off the run with a huge air onto the pod, hitting that step up, landing so nicely on the backside. But as you can see, hits that 8-pack, under rotates. Oh, that's a hard hit.
Let's take a look at our freestyle top 5 leaderboard. It'll be Son of a Digger, Avenger 4th, Grave Digger 3rd, El Toro Loco 2nd, and Cynthia Gautier, your champ. So Cynthia will add 12 points to her total as we take a look at our final BKT overall points standings here. So rounding out your top 5, John Gordon, Jim Kohler 4th, Mark Liss 3rd, Ryan Anderson 2nd, and Tyler Menninga gets another big win here in San Diego. So let's head down to the locker room and catch up with our overall event champion.
Feels good. It's definitely a confidence booster going into the season, but we're not out of the gray yet. So just staying smooth and consistent is what I plan on doing, and we'll see how we end up in round 2.
So Tyler Menninga with another big night in San Diego, adding a win to his repertoire. And what a way to kick off the season. Now round 2 of Monster Jam comes back to SnapDragon Stadium, and we'll bring you all that action. For Adam Enticknap, I'm Leslie Mears. We'll see you next time on Monster Jam.